Welcome back, coins collectors and treasure hunters. In today's video, we're driving into one of the most shocking valuable coin in USA numismatic history. Jefferson is not featured on the 1-cent coin. That honor goes to Abraham Lincoln, who has appeared on a Lincoln cent or penny since 1909. Thomas Jefferson, the third S president, is actually featured on the nickel, the 5-cent coin, since 1938. So, if you're here for the Jefferson coin, we'll explore the Jefferson nickel. But if you're really looking for valuable 1-cent coins, the focus shifts to Lincoln cents. And believe me, there are plenty of those that are rare, old, and highly valuable. In the vast world of numismatics, the collection and study of coins, every coin has a story. But some coins have secrets. Today, we're digging deep into a copper-colored mystery from 1984. You might think it's just another penny, but is it? Let's rewind to 1984. Ronald Reagan was president of the United States. The Cold War was still heating up, and Apple released its first Macintosh computer. But over in the U.S. Mint, something smaller, but still historically significant, was being produced by the billions, the 1984 Lincoln cent. This coin wasn't minted in Jefferson's name, but many collectors mistakenly refer to it as a Jefferson 1 cent, likely confusing it with a Jefferson nickel. What we're really talking about today is the 1984 Lincoln cent, featuring the 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, on the obverse front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The obverse was designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. This design has been one of the longest running in U.S. coinage history. Close-up of Lincoln's profile with the inscription, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1984. The reverse, designed by Frank Asparo, shows the Lincoln Memorial with a tiny seated statue of Lincoln visible inside if you look closely. This was used from 1959 to 2008. Materials: 1984 cents were made of a zinc core with a thin copper coating, a change from the pre-1982 bronze composition. This shift was due to rising copper prices. Bar chart. Now here's where it gets interesting. The 1984 Lincoln cent was minted in massive quantities, billions, in fact. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark 8,151,079,000. Denver Mint, D mint mark 6,569,682,000. That's over 14.7 billion coins. With those numbers, you'd think it's common, and you'd be right, mostly. But here's the twist. Some 1984 Lincoln cents are worth far more than 1 cent, and it all comes down to error coins. Most valuable variation: 1984 double die obverse DDO. This variety shows strong doubling on Lincoln's ear, his chin, and parts of his profile. It's one of the clearest and most dramatic double dies in modern U.S. coinage. Normal versus DDO Lincoln ear. Dollar banknote value as of recent sales. Circulated: $100 to $300 plus. Uncirculated: mint state $800 to $3,000 plus, especially in MS65 or higher. These coins are rare and sought after. If you have one in pristine, uncirculated condition, you're looking at a very valuable coin. The condition of a coin dramatically affects its value. Let's break it down. Shows where from handling. Common 1984 cents in this condition are worth 1 cent, or up to a few cents to collectors for bulk purchases. Even a 1984 D in circulated condition is usually just face value. No wear, fresh from the mint. Graded by professionals like PCGS or NGC. A standard 1984 cent in MS65 may fetch $1 to $5, unless it's a rare variety. A 1984 DDO in MS condition, however, can reach thousands. So, condition is king. A simple magnifying glass and a good light source could help you uncover a hidden treasure. So where might you find a 1984 DDO Lincoln cent? In old penny jars and rolls from banks, estate sales or garage sales, online marketplaces, eBay, Etsy, heritage auctions, coin shows, or collector group. If you think you found a rare error, your next step is verification. Submit it to a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can massively increase the coin's value. Studio microphone. So, is the 1984 Jefferson 1-cent coin rare and valuable? For the average 1984 penny, probably not. But with the right error, especially the DDO, it can be extremely valuable. Don't fall for online scams hyping rare coins without evidence. Know what to look for. Knowledge is power in numismatics. Check your change. Dig through that old coin jar and keep your eyes peeled. The next valuable coin might be hiding in plain sight. The 1982 Jefferson 1-cent coin. Although for clarity, there seems to be some confusion in the phrasing. The Jefferson design is found on nickels, not cents. The 1-cent coin features Abraham Lincoln, not Thomas Jefferson. In the vast ocean of American coinage, some coins whisper forgotten eras, minting mysteries in the rise of rare treasures. Among these is a coin often confused, misnamed, but occasionally misunderstood, the so-called 1982 Jefferson 1-cent coin. But what is it really? Let's start by setting the record straight. The name Jefferson belongs to the 5-cent piece, the nickel. First minted in 1938, the Jefferson nickel features the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on its obverse side, and his Virginia state Monticello on the reverse. Meanwhile, the 1-cent coin, better known as a Lincoln cent, proudly displays the image of the 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. In 1982, the United States Mint struck some of the most unique and historically significant Lincoln cents ever produced. The year 1982 marked a critical shift in the geography of American coin production. Mints in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco were at the heart of a metal revolution. Rising copper prices made it unsustainable to continue producing solid bronze Lincoln cents. Thus, in 1982, the mint began transitioning from 95% copper coins to zinc coins coated in copper plating, drastically reducing production costs. But this change wasn't immediate. Over the course of the year, 7 distinct varieties of the Lincoln cent were minted, including both copper and zinc compositions, and both large and small date designs. Collectors today hunt these varieties like modern-day pirates chasing sunken gold. Here's a breakdown of the known 1982 Lincoln cent variations. 1982 large date copper. 1982 small date copper. 1982 large date zinc. 1982 small date zinc. 1982 D large date copper. 1982 D large date zinc. 1982 D small date zinc. But why does this matter? Because in 2016, a coin was discovered that had never officially been documented. In 2016, a collector made a shocking discovery. A 1982 D small date Lincoln cent struck in solid copper. This coin wasn't supposed to exist. Only zinc small date coins were meant to be minted in Denver that year. But here it was, weighing 3.11 grams, copper, rare and priceless. Only a handful of authentic examples have been verified. One sold at auction for over $18,000. For collectors, this is the ultimate treasure, the result of a transitional error during one of the most significant years in modern coin minting. While the Lincoln cent drew headlines in 1982, the Jefferson nickel quietly continued its journey. These coins were minted in large numbers in Philadelphia and Denver, and although they hold less dramatic value, uncirculated and proof specimens can fetch significant prices, especially in high grades, MS-67 and up. The San Francisco Mint also struck proof nickels in 1982 with pristine finishes, made exclusively for collectors. In high condition, 1982 Jefferson nickels graded MS-67, or better, can sell for $75 to $200 plus, depending on the mint mark and quality. In 1982, U.S. coins were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark. Denver, D mint mark. San Francisco, S mint mark. Proof coins only. These mints were vital to national coinage, each playing a unique role. Denver and Philadelphia struck coins for general circulation, while San Francisco focused on producing proof coins for collectors and special sets. A coin's value lies in the details, luster, scratches, sharpness, and even its storage. Circulated coins, those used in everyday transactions. Most 1982 nickels and cents found in pocket change are worth face value or a little more. Uncirculated coins, MS-60, MS-70, untouched, never used, and often stored in rolls bags or collector sets. The best prices are fetched by graded coins, certified by PCGS or NGC. A 1982 cent or nickel in MS-67 Plus can be hundreds of dollars, or more if it's a rare variety. Here are the most valuable coins related to 1982. 1982 D small date copper cent, authenticated. $10,000 to $20,000 plus. 1982 small date Lincoln cent in pristine MS-67 Plus condition, up to $1,000. 1982 Jefferson nickels in MS-67 condition, $100 to $300 depending on mint mark. 1982 S-proof coins Lincoln cent and Jefferson nickel, $2 to $20 depending on grade and cameo quality. The 1982 coins of America tell a story of economic change, metallurgical experimentation, and accidental rarity. Whether you're holding a Lincoln cent or a Jefferson nickel, these coins are more than metal. They're pieces of history. And if you happen to stumble upon a 1982 D small date copper cent, congratulations. You may have found one of the rarest modern coins in U.S. history. So next time you sift through a handful of pocket change, remember, 1 cent may just be worth a fortune. In the world of coin collecting, even the smallest denomination can carry a wealth of history, artistry, and hidden value. The Jefferson 1 cent coin from 1985 might seem like just another penny at first glance, but for numismatists and history enthusiasts alike, it represents a unique intersection of American culture, economic history, and the enduring legacy of one of the nation's founding fathers. Let's delve into the details of the 1985 Jefferson 1 cent coin, exploring its design, rarity, historical context, types of condition, and how collectors can spot the most valuable versions. First, an important clarification. Thomas Jefferson is featured on the U.S. nickel 5 cent coin, not the cent 1 cent coin. The 1 cent coin in 1985 features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and a Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. So if you've come across a Jefferson 1 cent coin from 1985, it's likely a mix-up in naming. That said, the 1985 Lincoln cent is a correct term, but many people mistakenly refer to U.S. coins by famous historical names. Let's proceed assuming you are referring to the 1985 Lincoln cent, a copper-plated zinc coin featuring Abraham Lincoln. Obverse, front Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Reverse, back Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, used from 1959 to 2008. Material, post, 1982 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plated. Diameter, 19.05 millimeters. Weight, 2.5 grams. By 1985, the United States Mint was producing cents in massive quantities to accommodate the needs of a growing economy. This was during Ronald Reagan's presidency, a time of economic reform and renewed American pride. The shift from a bronze alloy to a cheaper zinc core with copper plating began in 1982 to save on production costs. The 1985 Lincoln cent was minted in 3 locations. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. Total mintage, over 5.6 billion. Denver Mint D, total mintage, over 5.2 billion. San Francisco Mint S, proof coins only. Total mintage, approximate 3.3 million, intended for collectors. Circulated coins are those used in everyday commerce. They show signs of wear, scratches, and toning. Uncirculated coins are mint condition coins that were never used in circulation. These include mint state MS coins, graded on a 70-point scale, MS-60, MS-70. Proof coins, which are specially struck with mirror-like finishes and higher detail, primarily for collectors. Condition, the higher the grade, the better. Rarity, low mintage or error coins. Demand among collectors. While most 1985 Lincoln cents are common and worth only face value, there are exceptions, especially error coins or those in perfect uncirculated condition. Some examples. 1985 double die obverse DDO. Rare and valuable if you spot doubling in the date or the word liberty or in God we trust. Value. $50 to $500 plus depending on grade. Off-center strikes. Coins struck off-center by 10 to 90% are collectible. Value, $10 to $300 plus. BI errors. A die crack between the B and E in Liberty that looks like an I. Value, $5 to $30. 1985 S Proof Cent Deep Cameo PR70. A perfect proof coin from San Francisco with deep contrast. Value, $50 to $200 depending on grade and demand. High-grade mint state coins, MS67 and above. These can be valuable due to their pristine condition. Value, $50 to $1,000 plus for top pop coins graded by PCGS or NGC. By 1985, the Lincoln cent was one of the most widely circulated coins in the world. It was accepted and used in all 50 U.S. states and often found in change in countries where American troops, businesses, or tourists operated. The San Francisco Mint primarily focused on collector proof sets, while Philadelphia and Denver took charge of general circulation coinage. Look for the mint mark, D, Denver, no mint mark, Philadelphia, or S, San Francisco. Examine under magnification for doubling, cracks, or striking errors. Check the coin's weight. A rare few may have been struck on copper planchets, 3.11 G versus 2.5 G. Use grading services. PCGS and NGC can officially grade your coin. For most people, 1985 Lincoln cents are only worth face value and less. They are mint state or proof coins. Contain notable errors. Have historical anomalies. Still, rolls of uncirculated 1985 cents can sell for a premium, and the thrill of discovering an error coin can be rewarding. The 1985 Lincoln cent may not seem like a treasure at first glance, but in the right condition or a rare error, it can be worth far more than 1 cent. Beyond monetary value, this coin is a living piece of American history, a representation of economic policy, technological transition in minting, and the lasting legacy of Abraham Lincoln. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, never overlook the humble penny. In your spare change should lie a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The 1969 Jefferson 1-cent coin, blending numismatic, historical, geographic, and economic context. There's a common mix-up. The Jefferson nickel coin refers to the nickel 5 cents, not the 1-cent penny. The Lincoln cent features Abraham Lincoln and is a true 1-cent coin from 1969. However, since you've asked for the Jefferson 1 cent, I'll clarify both for educational purposes and write the long script accordingly. Soft piano music plays over. In the world of rare coins, legends are born not just from age, but from error, scarcity, and stories etched in metal. Among collectors and curious minds, whispers still circulate about a coin that never should have existed. The Jefferson 1-cent coin from 1969. But is it real? Or just a misunderstood myth tangled in the rich history of American coinage, the coin that never was? Fact versus fiction. First, let's clarify a widespread misconception. Thomas Jefferson, 3rd President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence, appears not on the 1-cent coin, but on the Jefferson nickel, the 5-cent piece introduced in 1938. The 1-cent coin, more commonly known as a penny, features Abraham Lincoln, a design introduced in 1909 to mark his 100th birthday. So, a Jefferson 1-cent coin from 1969 doesn't exist in official mint records. But where there's confusion, there's often curiosity and sometimes counterfeit. A turbulent year in history. The year 1969 was a turning point in American history. The Vietnam War raged on, anti-war protests flooded city streets, and the civil rights movement pushed for change. Meanwhile, Neil Armstrong took one giant leap for mankind on the moon, an American triumph that will be immortalized on commemorative coins in the years to follow. In numismatics, 1969 was significant for another reason. The infamous 1969 S. Lincoln cent with double die obverse. This rare error coin, minted in San Francisco, became one of the most valuable pennies in U.S. history, with some examples selling for over $100,000 at auction. But this has nothing to do with Jefferson, or does it? Possible confusion. The Jefferson nickel of 1969. Studio microphone narrator continues as close-up shots of Jefferson nickels rotate slowly on screen. What does exist and circulate is the 1969 Jefferson nickel, minted in Philadelphia and Denver. The coin bears Jefferson's left-facing profile on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. It's not considered rare in circulated condition, but in pristine uncirculated or proof condition, certain varieties, particularly those with full steps on Monticello, can be worth $25 to $300 or more. No silver was used in these coins by 1969. That ended in 1945 after World War II. But some collectors still treasure these coins for their historical significance. In coin collecting, value is determined by several key factors. Rarity, how many were made, how many survived. Condition, is it worn from circulation or in mint state? Mint errors, misstrikes, double dies, off-centers, and more can skyrocket value. Historical significance. Coins tied to major events are more collectible. The 1969 S double die Lincoln cent, for instance, has all these traits, making it one of the most expensive pennies ever sold. Meanwhile, a 1969 Jefferson nickel in worn condition might be worth just face value, unless it has a rare die variety. In 1969, U.S. coins were struck at 3 primary locations. Philadelphia, no mint mark. The original mint, founded in 1792. Denver, D, known for high volume production. San Francisco, S, typically used for proof coins. If you find a coin marked S from 1969, it's likely a proof and may carry more value in a pristine state. Coins from the West Coast were largely distributed regionally. So if you find a 1969 S in the East, it might have traveled quite a journey. A circulated coin shows signs of wear, scratches, dullness, maybe even dents. These are coins that lived in pockets, cash registers, and vending machines. Uncirculated coins, on the other hand, retain their original luster and have sharp details. These coins were never released into commerce, often sold directly by the U.S. Mint to collectors. A 1969 Jefferson nickel in MS 66 or higher condition can bring a premium. A 1969 S Lincoln cent with a double die? A small fortune, the coin con, when fantasy coins appear. So what about the Jefferson 1-cent coin? Counterfeit or novelty coins sold to unsuspecting collectors. Altered coins, where hobbyists restamp or manipulate existing coins. Misunderstanding or marketing hype, where sellers use Jefferson's name in error, especially in online listings. Always buy from reputable dealers and consult grading services like PCGS or NGC to verify authenticity. Whether it's a misunderstood Jefferson penny, a wartime nickel, or a Lincoln cent that shook the collector world, every coin carries a story of the people it passed through, of the hands it touched, of the era it came from. In that way, even the most common coin is rare, because it's a piece of history in your pocket.